Hi everybody and welcome to my next blog and interview. It is today with Clare Ellis, who is an independent R-Bomb consultant. I met Clare at a a business conference. Was it in London or Manchester? I can't remember.
It was in London.
In
It was in
London,
London
yeah.
first time.
And then Clare kind of oozed this confidence and independence that I thought, oh, she's a really, she just oozed empowerment. She impressed me with the way she held herself, and I just thought, oh, she'd be good to get onto interview. So Clare, can you introduce yourself and say hello and tell us what you're doing these days and stuff like that?
Hi everyone, I'm Clare. I'm actually from Liverpool, and like Sam said, we met at a business conference in London, and then I've stayed connected ever since. So yeah, it's an absolute pleasure to be on this evening. As I said, I live in Liverpool. I have two businesses. My main one is an independent consultant for R-Bomb, which promotes vegan and cruelty-free botanical products. And then I also have a property business as well, which I work with my partner, George. We don't have any kids, yay! So that's why I always look so happy. But yeah, I'm 43 years of age, and I've been self-employed for 13 years now. So
wow. That's hard work. That's hard work, and it must take a lot of drive to do that.
It does, absolutely, yeah. I mean, it was a bit of a leap of faith. I remember being quite bored in my day-to-day job. I was working in a sales job at the time, and it was just mind-numbingly boring. So I picked myself up and kind of, thought, well, the only thing I think I want to do is be self. I took the leap of faith, really, and it's worked out well ever since.
I think a lot of people want to do that, but they don't have the guts to do that. So, as I said earlier, you come across as a very gutsy person, so you obviously are to have done that. Now, if I was to say to you, I do see you as a very empowered person, who or what do you think it was that actually made you that way? Like, first made you feel empowered?
If I'm honest, I think I probably always had that instinct inside of me to be a really independent person. But certainly my mom, my best friend, my number one, she was very much my chinga. She wouldn't let us get away with much. She tried her hand at everything. So I suppose I was watching and listening subconsciously. She tried her hand at everything. She always had faith in me that I was capable, that I was beautiful, that I could achieve what I wanted to achieve. And then, yeah, I think that self-confidence grew. Certainly it took a knock, like most people, you go through school, you go through jobs where you meet people who you don't necessarily connect with, and all those things will knock confidence. So even back in 2016, I think I'd actually kind of gone a bit of a reversal and hit rock bottom in my confidence levels. And I come across a lady called Cheryl Chapman. She'd be a really good person to interview as well, actually, Sam, just for future reference. Okay. And I seen her at a public speaking conference. She absolutely was an inspiration to me. She stood on stage, she told her story, and she reached in somewhere into my heart and went, "You are enough." Oh. And then ever since, she's been a bit of a mentor for me. So yeah, definitely my mum's number one, and I think I've found a real connection with Cheryl ever since 2016.
Wow, that's really good. That's really good. So how do you think that's like, meeting Cheryl and having your mum like that, how do you think that's impacted your life now? How has that made you? What have you got from that?
Well, I think being distracted by work and, the day-to-day stuff of things like paying bills or, coming up to other people's expectations kind of all put a bit of a negative slant on my life. So that's why I think I was, on a bit of a downward slope in 2016. But certainly my mum's teachings from when I was young about, it does definitely sit there in your subconscious, but sometimes you can end up blocking it out. And I think what Cheryl's done for me as a mentor is help me re-tap into my inner child and forgive myself for the mistakes I make, you know, and love myself a little bit more and find my fun again. That's one thing that, you know, we've worked quite closely on, is what is actually, you know, sets me alight. If I had no boundaries, if I had no money worries, you know, no expectations from anybody else, it was just me, what would I like to do? And now that I've met Cheryl, and along the way I've then obviously met lots of other empowered women, it set me on a new direction. It kind of helped me realign with my best authentic self, and that has partly led me down the Arbonne route. It's also led me down, being an independent consultant for Arbonne, it's also led me down another route this year when I'm going to start a different business, and that's all about business connections, networking, and bringing in, like, you know, the health and well-being element of it as well, and just supporting women, because women empower women. So, you know, I'm so fired up to help others. My purpose in life is to support other people, to help other people, to guide other people, you know, to basically inform them. Whatever they do with that then is their choice, but to inform and guide them and realign them with what is right, what I believe to be right. And a couple of things that Cheryl's actually done, which has just been amazing, is she's done, you know, if you get horoscopes, don't you? Well, we've done like a deep level of that called a genetic blueprint, and it's really tapped into why my soul is here on earth. And when she read it, I was like, this is unbelievable. Yeah, it was so strange, because it was like she had read my life plan in front of me, and how I was feeling and what I think and all of this.
Wow.
So that in itself was very empowering, because it gave me some strength back to go, you know what, this is actually a reason why I'm here. And that's helped me, as I said, kind of through things like meditation. Now I can really channel my energy to think about what's right. So
do you think that blueprint gave you validation for the way you were, so you got self-acceptance from that, whereas you may have always been fighting that sort of thing? So it sort of was like, well, this is you and this is why you are the way you are, and then once you realize that, you go, actually, there's nothing wrong with me, this is right.
Very much so, yeah. It was quite amusing, because excuse me, the chart itself is quite complex. If you look at it, you couldn't look at it and understand it. It's not a script like a horoscope is. It's very graphic, and with lots of numbers and digits and symbols. So when she actually told it to me, she went to me, okay, you are, for example, me personally, very much thinky, quite creative, you've got to process information, and what you're not is this, 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 and this. And funnily enough now, I laugh at it now, but at the time when she told me, I burst into tears, because I thought to myself, who am I? Yeah. I'm trying to be this professional person. I'm trying to be this person who turns up on time. P.S. everybody, I never make it on time to anything. I mean, like anything. It's unreal. Timing. I live in Clare world. And she said, you know, you'll never be on time. And I'm like, but I want to be. I upset so many people, you know, not being on time. I want to do this, I want to do that. And after a while, after a bit of coaching and mentoring, I came to realize, you know, the amount of good qualities I've got that we've highlighted from the plan, from that genetic blueprint, far outweighs the fact that I'm late every now and again.
Yeah. I like that.
So knowing that information has given me the strength to believe in myself again. And, you know, I think you can get lost in a maze of, as I said before, paying bills, looking after kids, you know, worrying about your partner or trying to please people at work. You can just get completely lost in that. And you've got to find your way back to who you were born to be, and why your soul is here on earth at this time.
It's funny that
when you find that, it makes a difference.
Sorry, I was going to say, it's funny that, because when I look at the cancer journey, a lot of them finish treatment. A lot of the ladies that I care for finish treatment, including myself. And then you feel lost, because you've been this other person. You've been the person with cancer for the last year. You know what I mean? And like, I mean, I was a teacher before the cancer. I was a secondary school teacher. But then for a year, I was a cancer patient. And it started becoming who I was. And then when I finished treatment and they were like, right, go back to your life and come and see us in 3 months. It was like, whoa, hang on a minute. It's like being on the edge of a cliff. And it's like, whoa, which way do I go? What am I doing here? You know? And it's accepting the person that you are then. Not trying to be the cancer patient because you're like, I've done it, you know, I want to move forward. And then realizing for the next few months that you probably can't do or don't want to do the job that you did before you were a cancer patient. So you end up in a limbo, not knowing who you are. And a lot of our ladies tend to fall into a depression, including me. I fell into a depression because of it, because for me, I've done that many jobs and that many skills. I was in the middle of a junction with like 10 exits. Which way do I go? I know that I don't want to do this anymore because I can't do the teaching anymore because my brain just wasn't working right for it. So I couldn't remember things and remember names and timetables. It was too fast in an environment for me while I was in recovery, if that makes sense. So it was like, okay, so what can I do? And it was like, I could be a dance teacher, I could be a gym instructor, I could go back to doing aerobics and fitness, I could, you know, go and do the judo club a lot more. And there was just so many things that I was overwhelmed and didn't know what I wanted to do. So when I was going through the treatment, I started thinking about this charity that I run, Sam's Diamonds, and I was thinking, planning all the things it could do. So I just thought, I'll take time out, come away from teaching. I went off sick because of stress, because I did fall into this depression. I didn't know myself at the time, to be honest. I was like a zombie. And I just took the time out watching what was going on, watching all my friends in teaching being super, super stressed, you know. And it was like, well, if you do come back, we'll cover your class while you have a cup of tea. And I thought, I couldn't do that to my friends. They're already stressed, you know what I mean? Don't cover my class while I have a brew, you know. And it was kind of like who am I? Who do I want to be? What do I want to do? It started off like who the hell am I? What can I do? And the more I thought about it, it was like, what do I want to do? What do I believe in? What's needed? And then I started finding my kind of place of, I actually want to give back and help people, because I got through that journey quite well, I think. You know, I didn't suffer. I touch wood, it never comes back again. I felt like I kind of breezed through it. It was quite hard, but the hard bit for me was the after bit, when they told me to go. So how I processed that and filtered through that, and I've come out on the other side in a better place, helping lots of people now. I've got 174 ladies I support now. And it's in 10 areas in the Northwest, so it's all over the place. So it's kind of like I'm thriving. And I want to take a load of other ladies and show them how they can do that through the cancer journey too. So that's what this empowerment thing is about. But I just feel like it's a process of finding who you are, who you want to be.
Absolutely.
Can I do it? And believe. And you have to really dig deep, like you were saying. Dig deep and realize the person you are.
Yeah.
You may not have been doing the job you were supposed to do in the first place, you know, but it's all you've known. So it's like a clean slate. What do you want to do? What can I retrain as? What would I enjoy doing? Because life is so short. Your perspective changes. You don't want to waste a day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's got to be important what you do. And the only way you're going to get that is to look at yourself, as you say.
Yeah. I think I've always had this sense of, I would say, doom and very, very strong awareness of my own mortality. I've been blessed with good health all my life. And, you know, even my parents, my mum now is, 83. She's got vascular dementia. My dad passed away quite suddenly from a heart attack. But again, he was like 80 years of age. So we've been quite blessed. We've never really had lots of trauma like, lots of other women and men as well, but particularly women, they're trying to manage an illness. But then they've got a job to potentially do. They've got a family still to look after. And you're right, for that period of time when you're ill and you're receiving treatment, then you need to solely concentrate on yourself. And then when you're going, right, okay, that's the end of the treatment then, off you go. it's not like a gradual thing. You are kind of like almost catapulted back into what people would expect you to have a normal life. Right, mum's not getting treatment anymore, so she needs to be back up cooking her tea. Exactly, because she's back into the treatment of the same fashion. That sense of mortality, I've stopped rushing around and doing the things that I thought I should be doing. Who am I now? So I can completely see why you would lose a sense of yourself. But one thing I've learned from Cheryl and from her colleague Marion's, let's say, an alternative person. Some people might call her a bit of a hippie, but she is a magic witch. She
Oh, 1 second, Claire, you've just frozen.
And how that manifests. Frozen.
Sorry, you said she was a magic witch, and then we lost you a second.
Oh, okay.
Well, let me just move it. Go on, try again. Go.
So Marion is she's almost like a magic witch. She's fantastic, but she very much associates, the stress of every day-to-day life and how that trauma kind of reflects then in your general well-being and health. And you might maybe suffer from something like cancer, you might suffer from depression, you might suffer from other illnesses. But she said all these are signals for you to take a stop and take a step back, and give you an opportunity to restart again. I'm not saying that everybody will agree with that opinion. I appreciate that, I've not been through your journey, so I don't know how traumatic it is. But it's certainly an opportunity sometimes for people like yourself and other women that you support to actually press pause for a little bit and question, what do I do now? Where do I go?
Oh, I completely agree.
Who do I want to be in my life?
I completely agree with that. And I've always said that the reason this happened to me is I was going down the wrong path. I mean, as I reflect now, being a teacher, I was ill every week. I was spending 2 hours a day with my children. And in that time, I was making their tea. I was spending the rest of the time marking, the weekends marking. It was the wrong path to be on. Do you know what I mean? I did enjoy it, don't get me wrong. But I was putting my time into everybody else's kids and not my own. Yeah. Every lunchtime was given up for them, after school clubs for them. And then I was coming home, cooking tea, and like an hour with them, and then it was off to bed, and it just wasn't fair on the family. So I think that I got cancer because spiritual side of me. My angels got hold of me and went, "What you doing? Look at this. Just step out of this, Sam. We've got you, but look at what you're doing." You know what I mean? Yeah. And I think the only reason I went and started doing Sam's Diamonds was because I saw what was missing by being on the journey.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you know what I mean? And I'm a fixer. So for me, it was like, I need to sort that. And then I found my new path. So I think it was meant to be, and it was meant to happen for that reason, because I'm not as sick as I was every single week at teaching anymore. Yeah. I feel more fulfilled and I feel appreciated. So I'm definitely on the right path.
I think it can certainly be sometimes hard for some people to accept as well, though, that, they've been given this particular illness. Whatever that is, whether it be cancer or an autoimmune disease or a car accident, or the life has dealt you a shitty stick. Sorry, excuse my French. But there, can we edit that there? But you've been dealt with this to almost wake you up, and to kind of help you reevaluate. Some people will be, why is this happening to me? I'm very much the person now of, what is this teaching me? It's just it's just the same problem, but what is this situation teaching me? And you can't always see it at the time, but reflection, hindsight is a wonderful thing, isn't it?
I agree. So what is it that gets you up every day? What's your why? What gives you your drive each day to get out of bed and do what you do?
Like you, helping others. I've learned one of the things I realised was I do a lot for others. I will give them my last penny. I will run myself into the ground. I will make myself late for appointments just to help others. But I was doing all this wrong, and it wasn't putting money back in my bank account. It wasn't helping me with appointments because I was late. There was, you know, it was causing me stress. It was causing me headaches. It was causing me anxiety. And I've helped now. I've been able now to take a step back and go, okay, I love helping others, but what do I need to do to help others and also help myself? And so, yeah, that's what gets me up. You know, I'm here to observe. I'm here to guide others, and, you know, to help, like, for example, with my Arbonne business, you know, if people have got skin problems or want to, you know, upgrade their health, you know, I'm here to give you the advice and give you the support that you need and mutually see you succeed. You know, there's nothing better than seeing other people achieve their goals. That is just, it's priceless.
Knowing that you help them to get there.
Yeah, it's priceless. It really is. You know, you feel so proud. You feel so warm and fuzzy inside. Not everybody's going to feel like that because not everybody's me, but that's, you know, that's what it makes me do.
I get that. I get that. That's why I do it as well. It's lovely.
Yeah,
it is really
it's
nice.
lovely. It's just the best feeling. So yeah, that's the reason why I'm here to observe and I'm here to guide others, and I want to help in the best way I possibly can. So that's what gets me up.
That's amazing. And do you have like a life quote that drives you or anything? What's your favourite life quote?
Oh, you know what? I think my mum's quote has stuck with me because although I've had good health, I've had a lot of challenges over the years, over my 43 years. And my mum always had a saying, and I know where she got it from. It took me years to find out where she got it from. But my mum always had a saying was, pick yourself up, brush yourself down and start again. And that sense of, okay, I've tripped. I'm okay. I'm still breathing. But you know what? I can do it again. Currently, my partner and I are in this climate. You know, we're facing quite a deep financial problem with our other business, not my online business, my Arbonne business, but my other business, a property business. And I was very, almost some people would say nonchalant about it a couple of weeks back because I went, if we lose everything, we can just start again. And for me, that has kept me going. That's kept my energy, kept my focus, kept my power going all the time. I think, you know, there's obviously, you don't have to do it alone. You can keep yourself motivated in different ways. But for me, it's just that sheer determination of getting up and you know, doing it again.
I think at the end of the day, when you look at, if you took everything away, you're left with you.
Yes.
And you as a person, not going to lie down and take any rubbish. You will build yourself back up. Because if you think of how you built yourself up from a kid, you are now wiser, stronger, more confident, have learned so many lessons. So there's no way you would not come back anyway. Exactly.
And it might mean that you don't come back in the same way. You come back, you know, reincarnated as a spiritual healer as opposed to a who knows? But it doesn't matter, does it? You know, at least you're still here, shining your light. And that's the most important thing, is there is a reason why your soul is staying in this body on this earth plane. And that is just simply because you've got a purpose to fulfill. Yeah. So don't be sitting there going, oh, well, I don't know what to do now. It's all about kind of going, okay, this has happened. I'm accepting it. Let's start again. And, you know, and finding, you know, what really alights you.
So would that be your message to somebody who just isn't feeling it, isn't feeling empowered at all? What would be your message to get them going? Or would you try and get them going? So how would you, what am I trying to ask you? If somebody was not feeling empowered, what would be your message to them?
I think firstly, you are enough. And don't listen to what other people say or think or tell. You are enough. There is a reason, as I said, for your purpose on this earth plane right at this moment. Whether you believe in heaven or not, in the spiritual life or not, so you're a complete atheist, it doesn't matter. You're here for a reason. And what I've personally found is when I've been at that very super low point where I've not been empowered and I've not had the energy, is just to take time out and try and reconnect with myself. As I mentioned earlier, you know, Cheryl helped me reconnect with my inner child of when I had no shackles of, you know, paying a mortgage or making sure that there was food on a table or, you know, any of those day-to-day worries. What would I actually love to do? What actually sets a smile on my face, a fire in my belly? You know, who turns that light on? It might be a friend. It might be something that you physically do by yourself. But certainly taking that time out to reconnect and think about what sets you on fire is vital. And you might find that you have the time at the moment because, let's face it, we're not going anywhere, are we? Or if you're recovering, if you've been in that post medication haze and you're still kind of coming through that and you're still recovering, you've got the time to sit and think. Thinking is a difficult thing. I found meditation a massive help. Meditation's a really challenging thing to start in terms of momentum, but actually it really starts to help center yourself. And there's some fantastic links out there on YouTube or free apps, you know, you can access. And when you start to actually realize that all you've got is now, all you've got is the present moment, what would you like to do to keep that fire burning? What would you do to make sure that, you know, you keep yourself going all this time? And I think that's where my empowerment message would be, is you are enough and there is something.
Sorry, I lost you then. And there is something,
Okay.
You said, and there is something.
Oh, I've forgotten now.
Sorry.
I think my last message was you are enough and there is something that, you know, is there inside of you. You've just got to take time to reflect on it.
Yeah, I think a lot of the time as well, something people don't notice as well, and this is like a quote that I know you've heard before, but you do become who you surround yourself with.
Oh, yeah.
So if you surround yourself with lots of negative people, you will be in a negative place. If you surround yourself with people who are lazy, who can't be bothered, you will get like that. So I think that's another thing that people don't realise, that you can do that. So that's something really important, to get rid of the negative people out your life. And you want people around you who will champion you and support you and help you believe in yourself. And that'll make an awful big difference as well. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, well, absolutely. I mean, you know, there's a risk that you can lose friends as well, like old friends, because you just find all of a sudden when you come through to that enlightened point where you actually realise that they're not the positive people that you need around you. But especially if you're empathic, if you're a very emotional person, other people's emotions, even if you walk in as a happy person, if you're emotional like I am, you can find that other people's negativity or negative energy, they don't even have to say or do anything. You've heard that saying, haven't you, that you can cut through the atmosphere with a knife. You can feel that, and I think women especially are very attuned to things like that. So it's important that you realise that, you witness it, you observe it, and then you make a decision about whether that's right for you or not.
Yeah, and don't feel guilty about it as well, because I think a lot of people come into your life and out of your life for a reason, and they were there at that time because that's when they were needed. It doesn't mean they have to be in your life for the rest of your life. You know, it's a funny one, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like a chapter in a book, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like a chapter in a book, you know. Some chapters you're going to laugh your way through, some chapters you're going to cry your way through, but you can't skip chapters to get to the end of the book.
No.
You know, your cancer journey is a chapter, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it runs right throughout the whole story. It might be a little thread that you have, but you can sometimes close that chapter and then move on to something different.
Not every character's in every chapter.
Yes, exactly,
like
Sam. I do. Even characters die in films, it's good.
Oh, well, thank you so much. Everything you've just said is really insightful. Have you enjoyed it? Oh, you're frozen again.
I have, yes, thank you very much. I think it's your internet.
It is. My internet's like gone dodgy. He's probably got other kids on the screen. tablets. Right, give everybody a wave. Thank you very much, Claire. Appreciate it.
Thank you, everybody. All right.